The Afghanistan War.
Afghanistan is a country located between Iran and Pakistan in Asia. The Afghanistan War is a war between NATO allied forces and the al-Qaeda terrorist organization to take the power from the Taliban in Afghanistan. The NATO allied forces is an alliance between France, Denmark, Canada, Belgium, Iceland, Luxembourg, Norway, Italy, Netherlands, Portugal, United States of America, and the United Kingdom. The Afghanistan War is a result of the September 11, 2001 attacks in the United States. The attacks were caused by al-Qaeda terrorists who were from Afghanistan. The Taliban, which is an Islamic group who have governmental control over Afghanistan, refused to let the U.S. into Afghanistan to capture or kill the al-Qaeda terrorists, so a war broke out. Canadian forces were first deployed in Afghanistan in 2002, but they were deployed in late 2001 as a secret.
Tasks Canadians helped with include doing regular street patrols, helping with security issues, helping rebuild the Afghan National Armed Forces, and assisting with operations in Kabul International Airport to chase rebels out of the airport and out of Kabul itself. Canada fought in this war because they cared about the future of Afghan children and helped by developing programs that involve education, health, advancing security, and human rights. Soldiers' living conditions were not ideal. They sleep in tents, some with air conditioning and heating, some without. The tents are spread out over lots of locations and slept 10 to 12 soldiers at night. They slept on cots and had showers, toilets, and sinks with plumbing. Shower water was not safe to drink. They had to drink bottled water. They were pre-made meals to boil for supper and meals ready to eat for lunch. They had washers and dryers, but they rarely worked, so washing clothes was usually done by hand. Internet access was very limited, and days for them were long and hot.
As of August 2010, Canadian forces in Afghanistan totaled to 2,830. Canadian forces were divided into three main missions. These missions were Operation Athena, Operation Archer, and Operation Achilles. Operation Athena is the largest mission that went to Afghanistan. It was first introduced in 2003, and since then it has changed a lot. Kabul is now relatively safe and stable. Canadians began to fight in combat operations, and because of this, a lot of Canadian deaths occurred. From 2002 to 2005, 8 Canadians were killed, and then in 2006-2007, when the operation in Kandahar began, 63 Canadians died.
Canada is also involved in 2 other Afghan missions. These missions are a lot smaller and are focused on military training and rebuilding. Operation Archer is helping the U.S.-led Operation Enduring Freedom. This is to assist in rebuilding and reforming Afghan security, including the Afghan National Army and the Afghan National Police Force. In May 2010, 12 Canadians were assigned to help, based mostly in Kabul.
The third main mission is Operation Achilles, which put military soldiers in Kabul to support the Afghan government. They were there to help politically and to give advice, explain and help the peace process, help the Afghan government, promote human rights.
Between 2002 and 2010, 151 Canadian Force members have been killed serving in the line of duty.
In addition to its military role in Afghanistan, the Government of Canada has played a significant role in the reconstruction and the development of the country. It is a development role. Canada's general objective in Afghanistan has been to rebuild the country as a stable, democratic, and self-sufficient society.
The Canadian government had many priorities in Afghanistan. These included maintaining a secure environment and establishment of law and order, providing jobs, education and other basic services, and contributing to political efforts to weaken the Taliban.
Canada's military presence in Afghanistan has been extended several times since the Canadian forces were first deployed in the country. Canada's first military mission, initiated in 2002 as part of a U.S.-led Operation Enduring Freedom, was only extended for 6 months. In May of 2006, the Harper government extended the mission another 2 years until February of 2009.
In 2008, the issue of whether to extend the military mission was again brought up. U.S. and other NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization countries wanted to see Canadian forces remain in Afghanistan.
In 2008, the Conservative and the Liberal parties passed a motion extending Canada's military mission. According to the mission, Canada would extend the mission for another 2 years until December 2011. If it received a commitment from NATO partners to send additional forces and aerial support. Following the motion passage, Prime Minister Harper was able to attain both commitments. As of August 2010, the Canadian government remained committed to the end of the military combat, concluding in December 2011.
As of September 2007, the Government of Canada has committed a total of $1.2 billion towards reconstructing and developing in Afghanistan. This includes money spent by the government since the fall of the Taliban in 2001, as well as future money committed by the government until 2011. Canada is projected to spend approximately $4.3 billion on its military operations from 2002 to 2009.
The Canadian Forces performed many different tasks while in Afghanistan, which includes providing security for the Afghan population and people working in Afghanistan, training and leading Afghan security and military, providing advice on security issues to the Afghan government, removing and retiring weapons left over from previous Afghan wars, and helping to improve the welfare and happiness in the country. In 2013, Canadians stayed to continue training the Afghan police and the Afghan army. Soldiers are being slowly withdrawn and should all be home by late March 2014.